The French Open, aka Roland Garros, the greatest show on clay. This video is your go-to guide for everything you need to know heading into the 2025 French Open. Whether you're a casual fan or someone who just googled why is tennis scoring so weird, you're in the right place. Actually, I'm mostly making this video for my dad because he always complains that tennis is boring, so maybe this will help get him interested. Although he usually turns off my videos about halfway through. Grand Slam 101. Tennis has 4 major tournaments each year, aka the Grand Slams. Each one features 128 players, and if you win 7 matches in a row, you etch your name into history and probably get your face on a billboard somewhere in Europe. Majors have more viewers, prize money, and overall prestige than other tennis tournaments. The first major of the year is the Australian Open, played in Melbourne in January on hard court. Next on the calendar is the French Open in Paris starting at the end of May on clay, a slower surface with a higher bounce creating longer rallies. Next is Wimbledon, played in London on grass courts, which counterintuitively is the fastest surface. The last major is the US Open, played in New York City on hard surface, similar to the Australian Open and is known for its raucous energy. Tennis is unlike other sports because the scoring is unnecessarily confusing. A player has to win 4 points to win a game, but they have to win by 2, and the scoring goes 15, 30, 40. If the 2 players are tied at 40, it's called a deuce. 6 games wins you a set, unless it's tied at 5-5, then you need 7. If it's 6-6, we go to a tiebreak, which is a race to 7 points, win by 2. In women's tennis, first to 2 sets wins, and men's tennis, first to 3 sets wins the match. If you're still confused, that's okay. If you start watching a match, you'll catch on pretty quickly. In terms of scoring a point, it's just like ping pong or volleyball. The only thing to know is that the outer rectangles are considered out of bounds unless playing doubles, but this video will stick to singles. If it hits the line at all, it's in. Something to note about the French Open is it's the only Grand Slam tournament that doesn't use Hawkeye electric line sensors to make calls as to whether the ball is in or out. It's entirely up to human judgment, which is a source of much debate in the tennis community. One of the beauties of tennis is that both the men's and women's side are both very popular and equally entertaining, and they both earn the same amount of prize money across the Grand Slams. Plus, women's matches don't last 4 hours like a back and forth men's match might because it can only go to 3 sets. Let's talk about the women's side first. The undisputed queen of clay during the 2020s has been Iga Swiatek, who's won 4 of the last 5 French Opens. She claimed her first major at just 19 years old and now holds 5 Grand Slam titles, 4 at Roland Garros and 1 at the 2022 US Open among 22 career titles. However, she's yet to earn a title in 2025, most recently getting smoked by Coco Gauff in the semifinals of the Madrid Open, which is one of the key clay court warm-ups for the French Open. Speaking of Gauff, she's my favorite player. I followed her since she was just 15 years old. She was a child prodigy, and many thought she might be the next Serena Williams, an overpowering American player on the women's side. She's yet to make the leap from great to extraordinary, but she's close. She's ranked 3rd in the world and won her first and only major at the US Open in 2023 at just 19 years old, won a WTA Tour Finals in 2024, and has 9 titles to date. Her athleticism is top tier, but her forehand remains a target for opponents. And as in all individual sports, mental resilience is key. That may be her final hurdle to dominance. One of the formidable forces she will have to overcome is the Belarusian Aryna Sabalenka, the Tiger, known for her strength and the powerful roar she lets out when she plays. Sabalenka captured her 3rd major at the 2024 US Open and has also won 2 Australian Open titles. She's been ranked number 1 for much of the past year. The French Open and Wimbledon are all that stand between her and a career Grand Slam, a feat that feels within reach after her recent Madrid title where she beat Gauff in the final and her era of dominance. Swiatek, Sabalenka, and Gauff are the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd favorites at the French Open respectively, and it would be shocking if 2 of these 3 didn't make it to the finals. However, there's the 17-year-old Russian Maria Andreeva who is trying to foil their plans. She is rapidly becoming one of the most exciting young players on tour. She defeated Sabalenka in the Indian Wells final, which is often referred to as the 5th major, after winning the WTA 1000 event in Dubai. With a wild 24-6 record this season and a semifinal run at last year's French Open, she already plays with the composure of a seasoned pro. Her mix of power, poise, and tactical variety suggests it's only a matter of time before she wins a major, if not several. The 4th favorite to win the major is the Kazakhstanian Rybakina. She traditionally plays very well in the European leg of the tour with a 13-5 overall record at Roland Garros and a 19-3 overall record at Wimbledon, winning it in 2022 at 23 years old. She has had an underwhelming past couple of years with no titles in 2025, but she is a composed player with one of the best serves on tour. Another name to watch is the 22-year-old Chinese Qinwen Zheng. The last time she was at Roland Garros, she won an Olympic gold medal. She was also a finalist in 2024's Australian Open. While she hasn't yet claimed a Grand Slam or WTA 1000 title and is winless against Sabalenka at 0-6, This could be her moment. Other notable Americans in the field include Emma Navarro, Jessica Pegula, and Madison Keys. Keys is having a career renaissance. After several deep runs in majors as a younger player, she finally got over the hump and won her first major at this year's Australian Open at the age of 29. The other two high-ranking Americans are both children of billionaires. Emma Navarro has been playing strong tennis as of late and is continuing to get better. Jessica Pegula, the daughter of the owner of the Buffalo Bills, has yet to win a Grand Slam despite reaching a major quarterfinals 7 times, including making it to the finals in last year's US Open, and holding down a top 5 world ranking. At 31, her window to win a Grand Slam is shrinking. Some more exceptional players in their late 20s to early 30s who have yet to win a Grand Slam include the Italian Paolini. She is somebody who the commentators like to refer to as spunky and fiery because she doesn't have the traditional tennis build. She had an unprecedented run in Europe in 2024, making it to the finals in both Roland Garros and Wimbledon. There's the Spaniard Paula Badosa, 2024's Comeback Player of the Year. She's a strong player who's gained better with age. There is the Czech player Karolina Machova, and despite an injury-plagued career, she made the 2023 French Open final before falling to Swiatek. Can she make it back this year? We'll see. The last woman I'll mention is Naomi Osaka, a 4-time Grand Slam champion by the age of 23 who early in her career looked like she was destined to become the next all-time great. She's battled injuries and prioritized her mental health in recent years, even dropping down to a WTA 125 event, which is the tennis equivalent of an NBA star playing in the G League, which, have to hand it to her, she did win that event. She's still going for the career Grand Slam, needing to win in France and London, but if she can keep trending in the right direction, it's not out of the question. Now, onto the men's side. There's far less parity here than on the women's side. For nearly 2 decades, men's tennis has been dominated by the big three: Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer. The two beloved players of the big three are the Spaniard Nadal and the Swiss Federer, but they both have retired, leaving only the Serbian Djokovic. He's already the most accomplished men's tennis player ever, and now he's trying to become the oldest to win a Grand Slam. Djokovic is known for his unmatched work ethic and discipline. His training regimen is the stuff of legend, borderline mythological. But despite all of his success, he's never been as universally adored as Federer or Nadal. He's emotional on the court. He gets angry when he loses. He will sarcastically applaud the crowd. He's from a smaller Eastern Bloc country with Russian ties. He didn't take the COVID vaccine and hosted a tournament in the middle of lockdown. On top of all that, his style isn't as flashy. He grinds opponents down rather than dazzling them. With all that being said, I'll still be rooting for him to win his 25th Grand Slam. For Djokovic to win that title, he'll have to go through the most beloved player on the planet right now, Carlos Alcaraz. Carlitos is the full package. Electric smile, legs like tree trunks, already a Grand Slam champion on all 3 surfaces, and he's only 22. He won Roland Garros last year and just took the Monte Carlo title, a key clay court warm-up. Many see him as the successor to Nadal, who won this tournament 14 times. Will Alcaraz have a similar run of dominance at Roland Garros? 2 controversial players are ranked ahead of Alcaraz. First, let's discuss the Italian Jannik Sinner. He's an incredible player with a lengthy body, an aggressive playing style, and a calm demeanor. Some detractors say he's too robotic, lacks personality, and keeps his life too private. But the main knock against him is that he was busted for using an illicit substance and his punishment wasn't severe enough. Some fans and his fellow players thought it was unfair that his suspension conveniently landed during a window without any majors. He claimed ignorance and that he had no idea that the lotion his trainer rubbed on his hands had a banned anabolic steroid on it. Regardless of whether Sinner's telling the truth, I'm happy to see him in the tournament because I want to see the best players competing against one another. He is, after all, ranked number 1 in the world even after the suspension following his second Australian Open title in 2025, bringing his major count to 3. The other controversial figure is number 2 ranked German Alexander Zverev. He has faced 2 significant domestic abuse charges but has not faced any disciplinary actions from the tennis world. Fans have taken to screaming at him about the allegations at his matches. The tennis gods have certainly punished him. He has made it to 3 Grand Slam finals but has yet to win one. He spent years running into the big 3 and now he's got Sinner and Alcaraz standing in the way. The US hasn't had a male Grand Slam winner in over 20 years, but there's a crop of talent hungry to break through. Taylor Fritz has spent his career steadily climbing the ranks. He beat Nadal at Indian Wells in 2022, made his first Slam final at the 2024 US Open. Fritz is also thriving off the court. He and his influencer girlfriend Morgan Riddle have built a large social media following and starred in the Netflix series Breakpoint. Francis Tiafoe is one of the most charismatic and exciting players on tour. He has a powerful serve and up-and-down playing style that makes every one of his matches entertaining. His personal story is fascinating. His parents were immigrants from Sierra Leone coming to the US to escape civil war. His father worked at a tennis facility and the family actually lived on the grounds, which is how Tiafoe became enamored with tennis. He has 3 career titles but is still looking for a signature victory. Ben Shelton is another exciting American player. Only 22 and already hitting 149 mile-per-hour serves. Wildly athletic, plays bold, aggressive tennis. His dad was a pro, and he's dating soccer star Trinity Rodman, so their future kids are probably gold medal material. Tommy Paul had a very promising juniors career, and like Fritz, is getting better with age. He reached the top 10 ranking in January of 2025. He has yet to make it past the third round at the French Open. There are only 3 active players since 2010 to win a major that aren't named Djokovic, Alcaraz, Nadal, Federer, or Sinner. There's Stan Wawrinka, who's 40 years old, but has a 1-7 record this year and is competing in amateur events. He has 3 slams and needs 1 more for the career Grand Slam, but he's mostly on the farewell tour now. Marin Cilic, another vet near 40, still hanging around the tour. He won the US Open back in 2014. Neither of these two really have much of a chance in this upcoming tournament, but they both won majors, so I wanted to give them a shout out. The only truly competitive former major winner is Medvedev, who is a hell of a player but who has had the unfortunate circumstance of playing in the same era as the Big Three. He defeated Djok in the 2021 US Open, preventing Novak from completing the calendar Grand Slam. Medi was supposed to lead the new era alongside Zverev and Tsitsipas, but that window closed quickly thanks to Sinner and Alcaraz's rise and Djokovic's refusal to age. Speaking of Tsitsipas, he was my favorite player for a bit, but I lost faith in him after he started taking long mid-match breaks to throw off his opponents. Or he just has IBS. Either way, I'm out. Tennis players are some of the greatest athletes in the world. Watching tennis might seem slow or repetitive to some people, but when you know the stories, the rivalries, the stakes, it becomes one of the most thrilling sports to watch. And now is a very exciting time, with the old guard fading and the new generation fully stepping into the spotlight.